back I made a video about 5 YouTubers that used to be big yet lost all their fame, which made me start to think about how a lot of people have been able to avoid this fate. So today I want to talk about 5 YouTubers that seem to be unstoppable. Nigahiga, who was at one point the biggest channel on YouTube, is yet another example of teenagers who started out just goofing around on YouTube, then ended up being one of the original online video creators. Originally notable for their lip-syncing videos and how-to series, the channel has been steadily posting content since 2006, with there being no sign of stopping. And the channel's main owner, Higa, still is the main star after all these years. While Nigahiga is no longer the biggest on YouTube, if you look at the channel stats, it has been pulling in 35 million views monthly, which is comparable to the numbers when it was the king of the site, which I think perfectly displays that you don't always have to be number one to be successful. Abridged versions of animes is a format of video where you take a movie or a television program, then proceed to cut it up and redub the lines mainly for comedic effect. And while I have never personally understood the appeal to these video series, they're quite popular, with the biggest being Team 4-Star. The Team 4-Star channel started their Dragon Ball Z Abridged series all the way back in 2008, with it quickly gaining a fanbase and keeping it, with each episode of their main series gaining at least 2 million views even after all these years. The one downside, they can't monetize any of it. Abridged series sit in an interesting place in the whole argument of fair use, and for now the consensus is that while you're allowed to make them, you can't monetize the redubbing of programs. So Team 4-Star has turned to Patreon for support from their fans, and with it they currently earn over $12,000 a month plus merchandise sales. So now it seems like Team 4-Star is going to become a full-on production house, and even though I'm not a huge fan of the genre, good for them. Way back in 2004, before YouTube was even a thing, James Rolfe made the first episode of The Angry Video Game Nerd, a foul-mouthed man-child who takes lousy old Nintendo games way too seriously. Then in 2006, he decided to upload this character to the internet for the world to see. From there, he quickly built up an audience that wanted to see more of this character, with Screw Attack picking up the show, and James delivered with the reviews becoming popular enough to do it full-time. And unlike other content creators in the early days, he already had a background in filmmaking, which gave him a major advantage over the competition. For the past decade, the Angry Nerd persona has been a staple of the gaming community, with James basically inventing the comedic game review genre of videos. And in 2015, his AVGN episodes still pull in over 1 million views apiece, and it doesn't seem like he's stopping anytime soon. The unboxing genre of YouTube channels has been around for as long as the site, since it's such a simple format. Just point the camera and open up the item while giving your thoughts on it. And no one knows this better than Ashens, a man that's been opening up items and trying them out on camera for a decade. Most notable for his humorous reviews of knockoff electronic devices, his almost 1 million subscribers tune in each week to see what he'll be taking a look at, with many following him for almost his entire run. Unlike channels like Fred and PewDiePie that are mostly going after young audiences that will eventually grow up, Ashens has never specifically marketed himself to children, so his viewers stay loyal because they usually never grow out of the content. If you look at his channel's numbers, it's actually quite astounding that a person can not only stay relevant, but continue to grow in popularity after 10 years, which is why he deserves a spot on this list. Anyone who has spent any amount of time on YouTube knows what Smosh is, since no matter at what point you started watching, they've been around, steadily creating content for their online empire since the year of 2005. Back then, the channel was full of very simple lip-sync versions of cartoon theme songs, including Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, and of course Pokemon, which went on to be the most viewed video on the site before getting taken down for copyright infringement. With such a large level of success, they continued making comedy videos for the next 10 years, with them expanding into gaming, animation, and feature-length films. Along with this, they've also hired a lot of people, turning their little videos from a bedroom into a full-blown company. What surprised me was in the comments for my 5 YouTubers that lost their fame list, many said Smosh should have been on there, but just their main channel alone pulls in 100 million views a month, even after 10 years, which is why I think Smosh is the most resilient channel on YouTube. Well, there you have my picks for 5 YouTubers that have been resilient throughout the years. But before I finish this video today, I just want to give a really big thank you to my sponsor, Loot Drops. Loot Drops partners with indie game developers to deliver 3 to 4 amazing PC games to its members everywhere, every month. It is a lot like Loot Crate but for PC games. You get at least $40 worth of top-rated indie games, but typically the value is much more. Make sure to visit lootdrops.com and use the code MARS to redeem your $3 credit towards the first month. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'll leave a link to their website in the description below. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching.